your notebook and your paper and a pen or marker. Oh, oh, here, we get on the table. Here's your paper. Here's my paper. Almost ready. You have a pen here. No. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias.
Bien, gracias.
¿Y usted?
Yo estoy muy bien, gracias. ¿Cómo están? Muy bien.
Muy bien.
Let's review the other answers. You could say muy contenta.
Muy contenta.
Or los niños, you can say muy contento.
Muy contento.
Muy contento. Más o menos. If you're
Más
not,
o menos.
Más o menos. Estoy más o menos if you're really not that happy. Contento if you're happy. ¿Y qué día es hoy?
No. ¿Qué día es hoy?
Hoy es.
Hoy es. ¿Cómo te dices? Tuesday. Hoy es martes.
Hoy es martes. ¿Qué día fue ayer?
Ayer fue.
Yesterday?
Lunes.
Lunes.
I was just trying to remember. Yesterday or tomorrow.
So let's do the whole sentence.
Ayer fue
lunes.
Lunes.
Hoy es martes.
Hoy es martes.
¿Qué día será mañana?
Mañana será miércoles.
Muy bien. Mañana
much better.
será miércoles. You are getting so much better.
It's just confusing because when we record them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. ¿Cómo está afuera? ¿Qué tiempo hace afuera? Let's look outside. ¿Cómo está afuera? Bueno, afuera hay sol. Here, I'll show you. Hace sol or hay sol. We have, it's sunny for today, it looks like. So let's say it together. Hace sol.
Sol.
Mm-hmm. Hace calor. If it's warm outside, you can say hace calor.
Hace calor.
If it's cold outside, you can say hace frío.
Hace frío.
Which one would you say for today, if you could guess?
Hace frío.
Say it loud.
Hace frío.
Hace frío. Frío. It is sunny. Hace sol. Hace frío. Sometimes it's like that.
Yes.
¿Qué más? Is there anything else we need to go over with our Spanish? Hace frío. Hace sol. Está nublado. Remember that one? For when it's cloudy. Está nublado. Let's go over a few more. If it's raining, this is the sign for rain, we would say está lloviendo.
Está lloviendo.
Está lloviendo. It's not going to be doing this anymore, but if it were snowing, está nevando.
Está nevando.
Está nevando. Is there anything else that it could be for the weather that we should say? Muy bien. Yes, so let's write the date for our morning meeting. Tuesday, and it is April, right?
Mm-hmm.
What day is it?
Tuesday.
Yeah, what date?
The
so
date
10,
is
11, 12, 13, 14?
13 should have been Sunday. Or 13 was yesterday, so 14.
Yeah, 14. Here's what you can write on the top of your notebook. And let's look at a Zentangle for today. Here is one very cool one called Chakra. Now, you don't have to draw these 3D shapes if you want. This is what it's going to look like if you just fill your paper with the shapes. But we'll just go ahead and start by drawing the shapes. So let's start at the bottom of your paper. Okay. And we'll make this egg stone shape at the bottom.
Kind of like a potato.
Yep.
Calls for a light blend.
And then inside that one, we're going to make ellipses. For some reason, it looked like a hamburger for a minute. I don't know why. And then we're going to make these wavy lines around the ellipses that we did.
Mine are so much bigger.
I can't. Okay. Next step, it's hard to see my silver a little bit, is to make some more wavy lines. Very close to the first wavy lines, I guess. Just kind of parallel them, or yeah, just like kind of copy them. That's cool. That's cool. All right, I like it. And then the next step is to get closer. Yeah, it's going to be shading on some parts of that line. Just a little bit of coloring in, maybe here, maybe just here, maybe here, maybe here. And then also coloring in a little bit on one side of the ellipses. Just on one side. Color in any mistakes you might have made and just shade them in. And that's it. And then we're just going to make another shape on top. Then start over. I hope you can see that. The light is bright right now. Oh, can you show them the one you were working on yesterday? Oh, yeah. And then you can continue to work on both of these as I read. I do have a read aloud from Mammals Who Morph. Very cute. Okay, here we go. We're back to Mammals Who Morph by Jennifer Morgan and illustrated by Dana Lynn Anderson. Yesterday we were talking about the tree branches being shaped along with the animals' arms and hands. Well, hello. You just bumped into me. That wasn't very nice. Okay. 50 million years ago, steamy hot rainforest stretched from pole to pole. From the North Pole to the South Pole. Don't step on my rug. Come on, walk around.
I have the card.
Yep. The chakra. Plants turn sunlight into huge amounts of roots, shoots, leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds. One mammal you know, the horse, already trotted about and nibbled in fruit in the rainforest. But you wouldn't recognize it. It was about the size of a cat and had cat-like padded feet. So this was a time of many mammals. However, giant Gastornis birds could catch and snatch up those horses with huge bone-crushing beaks. Yes, the birds ate horses back then. But the giant birds had predators too. Thousands of army ants could overwhelm a Gastornis and bite its body into tiny pieces. And army ants had their predators, little mammals with long, floppy noses who slurped up tasty ants and chewed them to a nice mash. There was so much feasting going on, plants eating sunlight, animals eating plants, and each other. That's how energy flowed from the sun and was transformed into earthlings everywhere. Around the same time, hippopotamus-like mammals appeared. Someday, their descendants would be true hippos. Others would turn into very different kinds of mammals. It all started on the edge of the sea. One hot day, some hippo ancestors wanted to cool off. They started swimming in the ocean. Whew, what a relief! There were lots of fish to eat, and water supported their bulky bodies. Life was so much easier in the water. Why go back to land? They moved deeper into the sea. Over generations, their nostrils from their nose moved to the top of their heads and turned into blowholes, so much better for breathing while swimming. Gradually, their front legs morphed into fins. Their tails morphed into powerful flukes. For a long time, funny little back legs hung on and then finally disappeared. They learned to leap high out of the water and called to each other with songs that rumbled through the sea. Some grew bigger than dinosaurs, but they were still mammals, nursing their babies deep underwater. What mammals chose to return to the sea where all life once began? Did you figure it out? Whales and dolphins. That's such an interesting, I had never read that story that way, but it reminds us of the story of the fish, the lungfish, coming up out of the water to try to live on land and to try to eat insects, which evolved into amphibians. And you see that after all these millions of years have passed, there were mammals that then adapted to go back into living in the water. So yes, whales and dolphins are still living in the water and are still mammals today. All right, Earth itself was morphing too. Massive moving chunks of Earth's crust floated on top of molten rock deep underground. You can walk around. Come here. You can walk around the rug. Over here. Over here. Yes, come here. Don't ignore me. Arthur. Okay. Massive moving chunks of Earth's crust floated on top of molten rock deep underground. When chunks crashed slow motion into each other, mountains grew. So parts of the Earth's crust, if you think about something baking in the oven, the top layer begins to dry and crust, but when they are slowly mashing into each other on a scale of the Earth, they're going to be making mountains. The Himalayas, Earth's highest mountains, rose up when India crunched into Asia. Until now, Earth had been covered with warm tropical rainforests. But then mountain winds began to blow. Don't walk on her rug either. Go around. Go around. Don't get mad. Go around. Mountain winds began to blow. Cold ocean currents began to flow. Rainforests shrank and plains appeared. Ice spread across both the poles. Brr. As Earth cooled, a little plant began to spread and would change things forever. A plant you know well, grass. Horses moved into wide open plains where they ate grass and fertilized it. As grass and horses fed one another, they also shaped each other. Unlike other plants, grass grew from the bottom, so it didn't get damaged when the top was eaten. In fact, it got stronger and denser, just as a lawn grows better when cut. Over a long time, horses changed too. Once they were tiny, had padded feet, and ate fruit and lived in the jungle. Then they grew big, had just the right teeth for grinding grass, and galloped across plains on hard hooves. Horses loved grass, and grass loved horses. Do you see how everything evolves together? There's that picture again. And then we're going to stop here for today, and we'll do a meditation. How is your Zentango coming along? Beautiful. All right, let's get ready for a meditation, and then I will let you all get to your work today. You will have your writing prompt, your word problem, the book of the week. There's a chapter up also on a video, and your Moby Max. Can you close the curtain a bit? Yeah. I will light this candle for us. Move these things out of the way. Thank you, thank you. Perfect, that's perfect.
It's a little bright from this side still.
It's okay. Nice. Here's the candle. No. Okay, here we go. All right, I don't want to get too dark. No, okay. All right. This one. This one's fine. Can you see it? Here, let's make it a little bit so you can see it. Or if you just want to close your eyes as well, that's usually what I do anyway, but some people like to have something to look at. You have to put everything down because you're going to meditate. All right, let's do some shoulder rolls. Back. Feels nice. And then forward. And then let's do some breathing. Now try this. Take your right hand and we're going to twist it over here and then gently look behind you. Let's take a breath here. And then let's try that again, and we'll twist just once to the other side. So let's take a breath. Left hand is going to twist, and gently look behind you. I'm going to try to look at it. And a breath. Okay. We'll get our timer started now, and we can twist. Okay, hands on your knees. And we'll start. Enjoyed that. I was just looking for him the whole time. You were. He's just so cute. Have a good day, everyone. Hasta luego. Bye.